Hi folks, Tex with Lone Star Home Services here, and today we're going to talk about baseboard heaters, specifically putting a cover on these old beat up baseboard heaters so that way you have something a little more appealing. Now these specifically are not electric baseboard heaters. We're going to be talking about the hydrothermic baseboard heaters. So those are the ones where they have a pipe running through, that hot water goes through, heats the fins, radiates the hot air out. So we'll go ahead and take this apart so you know what specifically we're looking at. We'll show you the components for the cover itself, as well as how to install that cover and give you a much nicer baseboard heater. So when we look at our baseboard heater here, we have several components. So we have the end cap. This is what provides, the end, the termination of the baseboard heater. Now in this case, this baseboard heater is shaped like an L. So this is a corner piece that goes in the 90-degree corner. So really we have two baseboard heaters meeting at this corner. And then what you have is the front plate. So this front plate, so what you see here, there is a pipe that comes through here that will be filled with hot water, which will heat these fins. These fins will then radiate the hot air out through this vent, which is this little dealie here. So basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be removing the end cap, the corner, the end cap on the corresponding side. The front plate will actually stay on because it's going to help protect these fins. And we're going to be putting a new cover that will fit right on top. So next we'll show you what those covers look like and the components, and then we'll go into the install. All right, so let's take a look at what we're working with here. So this stretch of baseboard heater is 8 feet long. These come in 4 and 6 foot lengths. So we're going to use two 4-foot pieces and splice them together here in the middle. So these are made by a company called Neatheat. You can get them from pretty much any big box store. And the pieces we have here, this is the cover itself. It will clip to the top of the baseboard heater, and then this bottom piece will hook on to the bottom of the face. So that way, the fins are still protected, and you still have your grate here for the heat to escape. This is our splitter, which is going to cover that seam between the two 4-foot pieces. This is our corner piece, which is going to replace that corner. We also have the right end for that side, and then the left end for the other side. So like I said, you can get these at pretty much any big box store. Install is pretty quick, and we're going to go into that now. All right, so now we're going to go into the install of these pieces themselves. So the first thing you want to do before the install is you want to make sure that this vent is open. You can do that just by pulling it up like that. So these baseboard heaters, as they are, obviously you can reach in and manipulate that vent to open it and close it. With these, because they're going to be covered by this grate, you're not going to be able to access it. So the best practice there is to go ahead and just open them now. So that way they're always open. You can just adjust the heat as needed. So first thing we're going to do is put in the first portion of our 8-foot span here, and that's going to be using this 4-foot section. Knee pads are generally a good idea, especially if you're moving around on porcelain floor like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to line it up to the end of our other face cover, and the lip here that I mentioned will snap right behind here. So what we're going to do is we're going to line it up, we're going to push it, work our way down, and it'll snap right into place. And then we just make sure that we are over to cover our end. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to need to push this down and pull your faceplate up so that the lip of the vinyl catches the faceplate. And as you catch that, you just move down with it, maintaining pressure, working all the way down. And that'll snap into place like that. Just check to make sure everything is nice and tidy in place. And there you go, the new faceplate is on. You can then take your new cap, put that on the end. And the way this is shaped is it will slide right behind the end here, and there's a little lip to catch your new faceplate hand cover. You just take that into position, and you hear that click, and there it is. Now, we're going to go to the second section of our 8-foot span, and then we'll add our splitter. So we're going to go here. You can leave a little bit of a gap, it's okay. Since we are working with this corner, we want to make sure that we leave room for the next heater cover that's going in. So snap that right into place, just like before. Come down and get it clipped on the bottom. Work your way over. There we go. And then your splitter will go right there, pop right into place, and it's installed. When we get to the corner, it's going to work the exact same way as all the others. You're going to have this lip that will come behind here, and this little catch that'll go under the corner. I'll go ahead and get this next one installed. We'll show you the finished product. Alrighty, so this is the 6-foot length that I said, as I mentioned earlier, that they come with. And as a reminder, you'll see on the material, this is not for electric baseboards. These are only the hydrothermic. So this span that we have here is actually 5 feet. And as I mentioned before, they come in 4 and 6-foot sections. Neither of those is 5 feet. So we're going to take these 6 feet and we're going to cut it down to size. So I've already measured and marked the material with a little notch here in top and bottom. And you can just use, tin snips or, a circular saw with a vinyl or trim blade, whatever you need to do. And these cut pretty easy. You just kind of run right down the line with your snips. And if you don't have the straightest line, that's actually okay, because as I mentioned, this is going to get covered by both the corner cap and the end cap itself. So both ends that you would see are going to be cut. So then we have our 5-foot section, which will go right here. Clip. And up and over. Up to there. Slide that down to the end. Like that. All right, so both sets of face plates are on. We can now put on our corner. As I mentioned before, it works exactly like the other pieces. Just snaps in right behind those and hooks on to the bottom, just like that, nice and snug. And then we have our left side end cap, which slide right there, get that in behind, and hooked underneath like that. So there you have it, new baseboard heater covers, which look a lot better than the ones previous. You'll see some side-by-side comparison videos, or pictures rather, at the end. This is very much a homeowner level task. Obviously, if you're not comfortable working around your heaters, as there is some plumbing involved, but not in this actual task. If you're not comfortable doing this kind of job, you can obviously hire someone out to do it, or do it yourself. This is very much a DIY level task. The only tools you'll really need is, well, your hands and maybe a pair of tin snips. Knee pads are a good idea, not required, but a good idea. Anyway, I'm Tex Harris with Lone Star Home Services. This has been Baseboard Heater Covers. See you next time.